The Romance of Missionary Heroism by John Chisholm Lambert. Recording by James Winston. Chapter 1. In the Steppes and Deserts of Mongolia. About the middle of the year 1870 there arrived in Peking a young Scotchman, James Gilmore by name, who had been sent out to China by the London Missionary Society to begin work in the capital. Within a few weeks of his arrival, there took place at Tientsin, the port of Peking, that fanatical outbreak known as the Tientsin Massacre, in which a Roman Catholic convent was destroyed and 13 French people murdered. A widespread panic at once took hold of the capital. The European community felt that they were living on the edge of a volcano, for no one knew but that this massacre might be the prelude to a general outburst of anti-foreign hatred, such as was witnessed later in connection with the Boxer movement. All around Gilmore, his acquaintances were packing up their most precious belongings and holding themselves in readiness for a hurried flight to the south. It was at this moment that the newcomer resolved on a bold and original move. Instead of fleeing to the south in search of safety, he would turn his face northwards and see if no opening could be found for Christian work among the Mongols of the great Mongolian plains. He was utterly unacquainted both with the country and the language, but he had long felt a deep and romantic interest in that vast, lonely plateau which lies between China proper and Siberia, and forms by far the largest dependency of the Chinese Empire. The suspension of work in Peking seemed to offer the very opportunity he wanted for pushing his way into Mongolia. And so as soon as the necessary preparations could be made, for Gilmore was never the man to let the grass grow beneath his feet, he left the capital behind with all its rumors and alarms. Before long the Great Wall was passed, which ever since the 3rd century BC has defended China from Mongolia. And then, with 2 camels and a camel cart, our intrepid traveler set his face towards the desert of Gobi, which lies in the very heart of the Mongolian plain. Mongolia, the home of the Mongols, has been described as a rough parallelogram, 1,800 miles from east to west, and 1,000 miles from north to south. It is a huge plateau lifted high above the sea, in part desert, in part a treeless expanse of grassy steppe, and in part covered by mountain ranges whose peaks rise up to the line of perpetual snow. The climate, hot and dry in the summer and bitterly cold in winter, makes agriculture impossible except in some favored spots, and so by the force of his circumstances the Mongol is a nomad, dwelling in a tent and pasturing his flocks and herds upon the grass of the steppe. For long centuries the people were a constant terror to the Chinese.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?